Hey travelers, Mag and Aichan here on our first trip into the city here in Japan. We are going to explore a little bit of Tokushima today. We are joined by Skip and my son, Awesome Baboon, and the four of us are about to have a great time out here. We got a few geocaches on the map, a beautiful waterfront spot, and some other spots in the city that I've got my eye on. So we don't want to keep you too long. Let's get out there and see what Tokushima has in store for us today. Come on, let's go. We begin our adventure for the day just southeast of Tokushima City in Komatsushima. A quick glance at the map to find a place to walk Aichan and Skip revealed to us Shio-kaze Park, a little seaside gem right on the edge of the city. It's not a particularly big park. Most things in Japan are limited on size, but it does feature an awesome skateboard park and is centered around an even cooler playground. Awesome Baboon's just a little too cool to be caught playing on the playground, but I'm certainly not. There's nothing quite like a day in the park and all these new smells for Aichan to be able to explore. And she is very happy to have Awesome Baboon leading her along from one smell to the next. With an excited Skip pulling us along every step of the way, the four of us explore our way through the trails in the park, one smell at a time. We manage to complete the full loop, and with Aichan and Skip's curiosity satisfied, we make our way over to the waterfront. It looks like our first potential find of the day is just around the corner. No geocache adventure is complete without actually finding a geocache. So let's do exactly that. Coordinates have us here. Aichan's already sniffing hard for this thing. Let's see what we got. Got anything down there? Oh. Look at that. We've got another micro bottle cap, and that is a geocache victory. One of the great things about being located on an island country is the ocean is never too far away. While enjoying the spectacular view from along the water's edge, we celebrate our find and contemplate our next move. You guys are surely quite familiar with Aichan and I by now, and you've seen Skip around on camera, but this is your first time getting to meet Awesome Baboon, and I am so excited that he's decided to join us out here on video today. Are you excited to be here? Yep. How old are you, Awesome Baboon?
14.
And how long have you been geocaching?
Not long.
14 years. He started geocaching before his neck could even stand up. We had you in the hiking backpack. You've been kayaking out on all the trails, right? You enjoying your time out here in Japan?
Yeah.
Yep. What are we out here doing today?
Just walking the dogs.
Walking the dogs. And every time we take the dogs on a walk, we try and get a new place because Aichan really likes new smells. She gets super interested when she encounters an unfamiliar scent, and this is what keeps her active. So we just went and found a geocache. You want to go find one more?
Sure.
Sure, let's go do that. Awesome Baboon and I are gonna go track down at least one more as we explore this area of Tokushima. Seriously though, the playground found here in Shio-kaze Park is just too darn cool for school. Once again, Awesome Baboon declines to join me in the fun, so instead he holds on to Aichan and Skip while I go and play around. And let me tell you now, if you think a smooth metal or plastic slide moves fast, you have no idea how much speed you can gain on rollers like this. A lightning fast drop. Maybe a little too much fun in the park. Skip is definitely ready for a break, so we're gonna go ahead and drive to our next destination. You ready, Skippy? That's right, who's a good boy, huh? Aichan and Skip both agree that they are beat, so we load up in the car and drive further into the city. We decide to choose our next geocache at random, allowing ourselves to be surprised. Alright, let's see if we can make another find. We got the coordinates right here on this wall over the river, so our hint says it's magnetic. Nope, no winner there. Let's check this side here. Look at that. We have another winner, and wouldn't you know it, these bottle caps seem to be very popular here. Hey, a find is a find, and I'm a happy camper. All right, we got our logbook right there. Let's go ahead and get our handy dandy stamp on the log. In all of our exploring this morning, we have worked up quite an appetite, so we decide to take a break for lunch and look for a place to eat. Awesome Baboon immediately takes the lead, knowing just where to go. Boy, oh boy, we are in for quite the treat with this one. If there's one thing that Awesome Baboon and I have agreed on from day one, it is that CoCo Ichibanya is just some of the best food to be found here in Japan. So, after working up an appetite, working through the park and finding some geocaches, we're gonna go ahead and head on in there, and we're gonna have us some delicious curry for lunch. Oh, I can't wait! One of the difficult things about ordering at CoCo Ichiban is just that there are so many choices here on the menu. So choosing just one can be quite the tough time. Fortunately for me, I've eaten at CoCo Ichiban's quite a bit over the years, so I know exactly what I want. Chicken cutlet curry, level 7 spice, with cheese and spinach on it, and it is a delectable treat, and now I'm just waiting for it to come.
And this delicious dish is one that I've had on my mind for over a year traveling the US.
Awesome Baboon also knows what he likes here. He did not even need to look at the menu to know what he was ordering. And what do we have here, Awesome Baboon?
Sausage curry.
This is pretty good. It's your favorite on the menu, right? Let's dig in and enjoy.
That was a delicious lunch, and now we are ready to get back out there and make our way to the next ground zero. It would seem that choosing our geocache targets completely at random is the way to go, so that's exactly what we continue to do, allowing ourselves to be surprised with each new ground zero we come across. But here in the heart of city, we have to be careful because there are muggles all around, so we time ourselves just right to dive in and make the grab. What's this, you say? You're thirsty? Don't worry, I know how to solve this problem.
This is certainly not a country you'll ever go thirsty in. Around seemingly every corner, even in the most remote country locations, you can expect to be able to find vending machines, just like this.
In all of my years geocaching in Japan, this is the first time I've ever been able to drive from one target to the next. I'll admit, it's certainly easier than walking along the banks of the Tamiya River.
We're not doing too bad out here. Let's keep this hunt going. Coordinates have us here on this sign, and the hint is magnetic. So, with a little bit of luck, we might just come up with another bottle cap. Look at that. These containers are all over the place, but a log is a log.
Making all these finds is quite hungry work, so I think it's time for us to grab a little snack.
Moss Burger. This is one of the chains that's kind of on par with McDonald's and Burger King stateside. Actually, a lot of Americans don't seem to prefer this taste. I myself do enjoy a good Moss Burger. The problem is that there's so many better foods here in Japan, like the ramen, of course, CoCo Ichiban's and all the other delicious places, that I rarely come into a Moss Burger just because it falls pretty low on the list. But getting one of those egg burgers, that's not a bad deal.
That isn't quite what I had in mind though, so we head across the street from Moss Burger into Family Mart. One thing that you need to know is shopping in a convenience store in Japan is nothing like shopping in a convenience store in the States. There are tons of fresh and delicious food options to choose from, not to mention the wide assortment of drinks, most of which are not sugary or carbonated either.
I never get tired of the convenience stores. There are so many great drink options here. Of course, we got lots of coffees and teas, but for me, I just like to randomly come in here, grab a tea right off the shelf. Let's see what flavor we got. Now for the moment of truth. Let's see if we've got a winner. Delicious.
Whether weaving your way in and out of the business district or our more residential area, you just never know where you'll come across a shrine or a temple. And while there are plenty of these in store, they won't be today.
Oh, we are on a roll now. This one has a spoiler photo, so that makes it easy. We know we're searching this rock wall, and there's only one loose rock. Here we have yet another find in business.
Time is running short, so after this train clears the tracks, let's go make one more find before calling it a day.
There's nothing quite like a clever camouflage job to set a geocache apart. This one is pretty darn good. It had me looking for quite a while. Not bad, right?
We've got just one last piece of business to take care of before we can wrap this up and head on home.
We need to go shopping for a gift, so we get to go to the mall, Marunaka. Ooh, let's go see what the stores have in store for us.
Now, anybody that knows me knows that I am not big into shopping. This is one part of our relationship where Mrs. Mag always takes the lead. However, I love getting to wander the stores here in Japan. I just aimlessly wander through the aisles, taking in all the sights and sounds.
One of the things that's really fun about being a tall person in Japan is that you can see over the top of all the aisles. I've got visibility from one side of the store to the other, and that's the case in most stores.
There are a few malls to choose from here in Tokushima, and believe it or not, this is one of the smallest ones available. And I suspect that choice was not done randomly at all. I think Miss Mag suspected from the start that I would wander off as soon as shopping began, and she probably didn't want to get mall security to have to come find me. While I'm hesitant to say that I got lost, I will admit that I might have gotten a bit turned around looking at all the interesting things that each of these stores had to offer. You've really got to love some of the funky things you can find in these stores. I feel a great sense of relief when I stumble upon the bank of Gashapon machines. Miss Mag is well aware that this is the first place to come look when I've wandered away in the middle of a shopping trip. We got ourselves a little Mr. Donut snack. I got the tiramisu. I've never had this one before. That's good.
All right, that's going to do it for our first day out here exploring Japan. And what a first day we had. We got out there to explore Tokushima City, and I think we had a pretty darn good time of it. What do you think, Awesome Baboon?
I think it's pretty cool.
It's pretty cool. We got to go in the park, take a walk around, and we got to find a bunch of geocaches, not to mention the little shopping trip we had in the middle of all that thing. Thank you guys for joining us as we begin this tour of Japan. We have a lot more coming your way in the very near future, so make sure to stay tuned. Like this video, subscribe, stay tuned for updates, and we'll see you out on the trails.